My name is Derek Smith. I am the club president, and I'll be presiding over the ceremonies today. Before we begin, though, I would like to take a moment and ask for if we can take a moment of silence to acknowledge the victims of this week's tragic events over in Moore, Oklahoma, in hopes that they may find the strength to overcome the disaster that has devastated their communities. Okay, as we were saying, LBCC Veterans Club here, we're sponsoring this event. 6 months of accumulated planning for this, so it's a very special event for us today. It means a lot to us, so we thank you for being here and for all those who have helped us get this together. First, I'd like to begin with asking that the Albany's American Legion Post 10 will now be presenting the National Ensign, followed with LBCC's choral group singing the National Anthem. So could you please rise for the National Anthem? Host the colors. Thank you. Please be seated. Today we gather here to recognize the significance of Memorial Day. Memorial Day definitely has a meaning to our society at this moment. And to express this meaning of Memorial Day, I would like to introduce Victor Coons, the president of Veterans, Vets Helping Vets HQ. Victor? Both of them are live.
I was asked to come out this morning. And give my view of what Memorial Day is to me. Over the years, I've done a lot of thinking about this, but part of that is for me to understand Memorial Day and the feeling that I have for it, we have to go back in history. Memorial Day was regarded as one of America's most patriotic days of remembrance. A day dedicated to honoring our country's military veterans, those brave soldiers of our wars that we have participated in throughout the years.
Listening to Valley Talk on KGAL. We are doing a broadcast of a live event here at Linn Benton Community College. Victor Coons of Vets Helping Vets HQ is speaking to a gathering here. Let's listen in.
Or back in history, known as Decoration Day, as it was first known, can trace its beginnings back to the Civil War. During the mid-1860s, communities in America struggled to cope with what high cost of freedom meant to a war-torn nation. At this time, they began holding spring-time tributes, decorating the graves of the countless fallen of the Civil War. Moved by kindness and deep compassion, Americans felt the need to remember, to give honor and express appreciation. More than 620,000 men and women lost their lives as a result of this conflict. So many people perished that it required the establishment of our country's first national cemetery. What we must hold as a truth is the spirit of Memorial Day was born out of a tragedy and a patriotism marking the day of remembrance and to honor our war dead. As the history of the past, the tragedies bring forth what Memorial Day is today. The patriotism brings forth a time to reflect, a time to remember. The price was paid for each one of us here today. As my heart weeps and the tears flow, the voice says, "You will never be forgotten." Thank you. Traditions emerged of Memorial Day gatherings, becoming a community-wide event across our nation. Businesses would close their doors so that all residents of the towns and communities could participate in decorating of soldiers' graves with flags and flowers. There was singing hymns and reciting prayers. All the people came together this day in remembrance as we gather here today. One of these communities was Waterloo, New York. Congress and President Lyndon B. Johnson in 1966 would declare it as the official birthplace of Decoration Day. To us today, Memorial Day. 3 years after the Civil War, on May 5th, 1868, at Waterloo, Major General Logan, Commander-in-Chief of the Union veterans, called the Grand Army of the Republic, proclaimed May 30th Decoration Day. Logan issued a General Order, number 11, for his post to decorate graves with the choicest flowers from the springtime. He urged we should guard their graves with sacred vigilance. All that the concentrated wealth and taste of the nations can add to their adornment and security is but a fitting tribute to the memory of her slain defenders. Let no foot tread rudely on such hallowed ground. Let pleasant paths invite the coming and the going of reverent visitors, and fond memories never be forgotten. Let no vandalism or adverse of neglect, no ravages of time testify to the present or to the coming generations that we have forgotten, as a people, the cost of a free, undivided republic and nation. As the defenders past and present defend a nation of people, yes, we are one people, not a race, not a color, not a choice, and not a faith. The men and women became one as they laid their lives down, that a nation would become one with each other. The first large observance of Decoration Day took place at Arlington National Cemetery in 1868. The event's ceremonies centered around the mourning-draped veranda of the Arlington Mansion that once belonged to the Confederate General Robert E. Lee. Washington, D.C. officials, of which included General Ulysses Grant, presided over the commemoration. General James Garfield made a speech to 5,000 participants, decorated the graves of 20,000 Union and Confederate soldiers buried there. Similar commemorative events carried on the tradition. By 1890, all of the northern states recognized May 30th as the official state holiday. Though originally honoring the fallen of the Civil War, Memorial Day, as it gradually became known, has evolved to commemorate all U.S. military personnel who died in all the wars and conflicts that this nation has been in. Memorial Day continued to be observed on May 30th until 1968. Congress then passed the Uniform Monday holiday, act changing the date of the last Monday in May. This created a 3-day weekend for federal employees. This law went into effect in 1971, also declaring Memorial Day as a federal holiday. Even though Congress passed this bill, Memorial Day is a day to stop, reflect, and remember. And remember our freedom came at a very high cost. No person will forget as we reflect, remember, without our defenders, we would have no freedom. This country was founded on those who gave their lives to strengthen and preserve the individual gift of freedom. We can never repay that debt. We owe them. We can endeavor to glorify their sense of honor, duty, and dedication to the principles and freedoms by which we live. Whether in a wheat field in Gettysburg, on the beaches of Normandy, in the jungles of Vietnam in Southeast Asia, or in the deserts of Iraq, Afghanistan, and throughout the Mideast, America's veterans answered the call, and they're the reason that the United States is the greatest, most secure nation on earth to this present day. Each person needs to bow their head in reverence and reach out to the defenders of this nation. Say thank you. Ask yourself, what can I do for those defenders of this nation? This Memorial Day, we take time to grieve the loss of the fine, heroic men and women, as well as those who have passed on after their military service ended. We mourn our most recent losses along with other families, and we are very proud of our ancestors who have become our family's heroes. Because of them, we are able to live in a free society with liberties that even our most desperate and reviled enemies admire. We remember them as those who have given so much and to make this country a great nation. As we look to the future, we must consider how our next generation will view the past. There are lessons to teach our young people, and indeed for all citizens. Appreciate the blessings of the freedom. Recognize the power and the virtue of sacrifice. And remember, the most fitting way we can honor those who never made it home is to do all we can to take care of those who did. Today, I'd like you to look around. There are brothers and sisters here today, standing strong. You are a remarkable testament to just how important, admirable, invaluable to this country you have been, and to the rest of the world. All servicemen, men and women, are like so many of Americans' histories. Thank you for putting everything at risk for our future. You and your families are commended for the patriotism and for your commitment to the armed forces of America, past and present. As I reflect here today, Memorial Day is the first day of 2013-2014 to remember, say thank you for your sacrifice. This day reminds me that I must reflect every day, say thank you, that as these brothers and sisters gave everything they had, signing the blank check, this day is to my commitment to help those who come home broken, and we will be there for them. The ones that come home have settled into my heart. The ones that didn't come home, have settled deeper into my heart, searing a place of saying thank you to each and every one of them. And for me to be able to say thank you to them is my duty to come here today and express what our history of Memorial Day means. And it means that we stand strong as one nation, and we give this country what those soldiers fought for: freedom, equality, and a chance to endure and preserve their lives in a free country. Again, I want to thank our brothers and sisters that didn't come home to give me this chance to give back to our veterans that did come home broken. Memorial Day is an important day for each and every one of us in our own ways, but we have to search our own hearts. And this today is the first day of the next 365 days that we need to remember. Every day is Memorial Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor. Next, I'd like to welcome a talented young man named Eric Thompson, representing Albany's Boy Scout Troop 99, and he will be performing taps in remembrance of our men and women who have sacrificed their lives for our freedoms. Eric, please stand for taps. Please be seated. We do have two other special guests we have here today, Robin and McKenna Davis. We're recognizing Robin and McKenna because of their sacrifice that they have personally experienced. On behalf of the Veterans Association at Linn Community College and the Albany Post 10 American Legion, we're going to be presenting a flag to Robin Davis for the loss of her father, Staff Sergeant Kevin Davis, United States Army.
There's a flag presentation going on right now here at Benton Community College as part of the Memorial Day Vigil. Here you're listening to Valley Talk, the audio portion of this on KGAL radio. The video portion is being streamed right now on OperationEaglesWings.us and VetsHelpingVetsHQ.com.
We'd like to extend our sincere condolences to you and your family. The loss of Kevin was not in vain, though. For his life and the life of other service members, ensure that our freedoms will not be taken from us, and we are truly in debt to you. In closing, I'd like to thank all of you for attending today. This is a very special day for us, and the more all of you being here shows that you care. I'd like to acknowledge that the members of the event that have made this happen, Albany Post 10, American Legion, LBCC Student Leadership Council, staff and administration, Post 51 of Lebanon, Victor from Vets Helping Vets HQ, local representatives of our media presenting the coverage of our event, and club members and veterans of the Veterans Association who have spent so much time and dedication to making this event happen. It could have not happened without all of your help. We very thank you for this very much. Honor guard, retire the colors.
And the colors are being retired now by the Honor Guard here at Linn Benton Community College. Valley Talk will continue here as we will talk to some of the folks in attendance and ask them what this day means to them. You're listening to 1580 KGAL with live video streaming on OperationEaglesWings.us and HelpingVetsHQ.com.
This concludes our ceremony for the day. We thank you very much for coming, and stick around. Feel free to come around and talk to the veterans and the other students here on the campus from just coming in and celebrate the Remembrance Event Memorial Day. Thank you.
And live we are here at Linn Benton Community College. I'm Dave Adams, and this is KGAL's Valley Talk. And the ceremony actually went much faster than the planners had planned on. And so we are going to be talking to some good folks here at Linn Benton Community College. Come on over here, sir. Can I have your name?
Derek Smith.
Derek Smith. And how are you affiliated with the Veterans Club here at Linn Benton Community College?
I'm currently the president of the Veterans Association here on LBCC. I've been in the position for about 15 months now, and this is my last month doing so. I've been a student here for about 2.5 years at this moment. So,
now this is the first event like this that you put on here, isn't it? Let's move this way just a little bit. Okay.
Yes, sir. It's been last one was about 2 years ago with a different group of veterans that were taking care of the association here.
Why did you decide to do this year?
Well, we felt that with the amount of veterans here on campus now coming out of the service, that we need to introduce a place for them here on the campus and give them an outlet to show appreciation for those fallen, also service members that have fallen, because we have a lot of members here in the community who is affected. They've been affected either one way or another by the loss of service members in the last 10 years and previous conflicts here in the United States.
So what does the Veterans Club do here at Linn Benton Community College? Do you help veterans get educational benefits? Do you help them with some counseling? What do you do?
Over the last 12 months, we've been developing ways of assisting them with getting their VA benefits taken care of, their documentation, and to make sure that they're aware of what the benefits they have available to them. Resources here on the campuses as well as in the communities to help them out with whatever things they need, sometimes if it's things personally as well as academically, as well as helping them if they need to work on filing their claims with the VA for disability compensation, community outreach programs, volunteering here in the community, things like that. Just a lot of different programs we're involved with.
And quite a good turnout here. We probably had about maybe 30, 40 people here. A lot of young people. It was nice to see some young people turn out.
Yes, we're very pleased to see that. We were hoping for quite a bit more. Last time we had about 100 people here because we were in the courtyard, but unfortunately with inclement weather we compensated, so we came down here and we didn't get as much traffic. But we were very thankful for what students we did have come, especially a lot of young men and women who are showing interest for the Veterans Association and as well as Memorial Day.
How can the public help?
Whatever support you can show. We're very grateful. Any veteran is grateful, of course. But just expressing your way of appreciation, however it might be, is just the best thing to do, whether it be attending an event or volunteering for an event or just saying thank you to a veteran you happen to know or pass by, even if it's a perfect stranger. That means so much to those who have served. It really, really does.
One of the things that they can do to help World War II veterans specifically is there's going to be this Saturday, the May 25th in Lebanon at the River Center. We're going to be showing once again another viewing of Honor Flight One Last Mission. And people can buy tickets at $10 each for the tickets. And all of the proceeds from the tickets go to send Willamette Valley veterans back to Washington, D.C. on what's called an Honor Flight. Honor Flight is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that exists to ensure that World War II veterans can go back to Washington, D.C. and see the World War II Memorial and see the other memorials. Real push to put this on right now for World War II veterans because they're getting older. They're passing on at the rate of 1,000 a day. And one of the things that World War II veterans are telling us that go on this honor flight is it gives them a real sense that the nation appreciated what they do. One of the things that happens when they leave the Portland airport and they arrive in D.C. is they shoot water cannons over the airplane sometimes. There's an honor guard at the airport, and a lot of people that are in the airport terminal know what's going on, and they applaud and clap. And so it's kind of a parade-like atmosphere, and World War II veterans are honored. And this is important to them at this time in their life because it gives them some kind of closure. A lot of World War II veterans have been carrying around a lot of baggage for a lot of years, PTSD, remember flashbacks, even it was, decades ago. They're still carrying a lot of this with them. So Honor Flight exists to help World War II veterans get back to D.C. and see this before they pass on. You as a listener can help by buying a ticket to see the movie. Now there'll be 800 seats available at the River Center this Saturday at 1 p.m. You can buy tickets at Bertram's Metals in Albany and at the Lebanon Chamber of Commerce. Thanks to the generosity of Jay Bertram of Bertram's Metals, they've underwritten the cost of the licensing cost to Freethink Media to allow us to publicly show this video, this movie. So that allows us to take every dime that we raise from ticket sales and use it to send Willamette Valley veterans back to D.C. And the showing at the Pix Theater in Albany this last Saturday at 1 p.m., we packed the house. 200 people showed up. We raised $2,000, though we can send 2 World War II veterans back from the proceeds that we raised last weekend. So if we sell 800 tickets for this Saturday's showing, we can send another 8 veterans back to Washington, D.C. The goal is to send 10 veterans back from the Mid-Willamette Valley, and you can help, and you can be a part of the Honor Flight Network. So we just wanted to take a few minutes and explain that to you, that you can still buy tickets. Good seats are still available. It's at the River Center this Saturday at 1 p.m. in Lebanon. Again, tickets, you can buy those at Bertram's Metals in Albany and also at the Lebanon Chamber of Commerce. And you can be a part of the Honor Flight Network that way. For those that have helped us sell tickets and helped us in other ways with the Pix showing and the one coming up this Saturday, we very much thank you and ask you to still be involved and help us to sell tickets for the upcoming event this Saturday. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us about what's going on at Linn Community College as far as the veterans community?
Well, we're just hoping to express any of the other veterans who are interested to contact us. We do have a Facebook page that's on the link for the LBCC website, as well as our own email through the school, and we're trying to really keep in touch with a lot of other veterans, give them opportunities to volunteer if they'd like to help make a difference here at school for other veterans, because it is tough for a lot of us to coming out of the service to start over from scratch, not be familiar with what it's like to be in college or how it is now. And so being a part of that, having other people back you up and be beside you to help you through it makes a world of difference, and that's one thing. So we're extending our invitation for those who want to come and participate and get involved here for the next year. So we still have several very motivated veterans who are actually in officer positions for the next year, and they're going to be making sure that the program here continues and develops. And hopefully we can make a difference in many veterans' lives here, in their education as well as their personal lives.
One of the things that we hear from veterans is they come out of the military, and the military is a very ordered society, very close culture. I've got your back, you've got mine, and they're kind of linked arm in arm, and there's this camaraderie, there's this feeling of family. Once the gate opens and they leave the base, so to speak, and they're released into society, all that goes away. And do you sense from veterans that there's a feeling of being disconnected and not knowing how to fit in and really missing that familial, close-ordered, close-knit community?
Oh, absolutely. Definitely. From my own personal experience, I didn't grow up here. I didn't know anybody when I got here because my wife is from this area. When I got out of the service, I moved here. And so I had no association with anybody, nobody that I could seek for guidance. And so that lack of structure and camaraderie and team unity that we've developed in the military is gone. It was. For a lot of us, it's that way. And so it really kind of is shocking. And to be able to experience being in college with students in a different perspective. For a lot of us, being in the service you're serving, you're dedicating your time to your service or branch of service you're serving in, and so you have a large goal, a common goal that you're trying to reach. Versus in college, it's a lot of individual tasks, a lot of individual efforts, and so that team effort isn't there sometimes. So it is a shock to veterans when they do get out. And so you can sometimes feel almost withdrawn and not connect to other people from your life experiences and what you're used to. You're used to that structure. And that's why we have been developing our program, because even though we can't replace that structure, but we can give a foundation to help not make it such a shock so that they can succeed in life.
Okay. Well, thank you for talking to us today. Thank you for all you do to veterans here at Linn Benton Community College. How many veterans are there here?
We do have an active membership. We have about 50 members who we keep in touch by email, and we have about a dozen members who are extremely active on a lot of the events here every day. But the numbers are growing. Last I checked, I believe we have over 300 students here who are veterans under VA programs. And, of course, the numbers are just going up with more veterans getting out of the service, so it's just going to continue to keep going. And so the presence amongst the student body here on campus is increasing with our group. So the school's acknowledging it. They're realizing that there's a demand for some of the things to change to help enable student veterans to succeed in college, because VA programs are very specific and very unique, and it's the school has to work with the students to make it successful.
What about funding? We heard because of sequestration and funding cutbacks on the federal level, there was a time when some of the funding was cut back. Is the funding available there? What's going on?
For this last spring term, the funding for the tuition assistance for active duty members of the National Guard has been an issue here on the campus. And so basically the tuition assistance for the next school year of 2013-2014 is back. The budget is allowing it to be back in place, and the student veterans will get it who are under that program. But for the students who are applying for this past spring term did not receive it because of it. And so a lot of them had struggled with getting funding besides regular financial aid, federal financial aid. And so a lot of us here at the campus and the association are trying to find ways to get them grants and scholarships, or even any organizations who want to donate to assist that student. And we've had some successes with a few students here and there, thankfully, but not to the amount that we wish we could for how many people were affected.
Okay, thank you very much. In just a moment, we're going to talk to Victor Coons. We're going to take a break here on KGAL Valley Talk. You're hearing the audio portion of this live on KGAL 1580 Smart Talk in Albany, Oregon, and then you're also watching the video portion streamed live on OperationEaglesWings.us and Victor's website, VetsHelpingVetsHQ.com, and we will be back here on KGAL in just a moment after we take this short break. And live we are here. It's Linn Benton Community College. We're on KGAL's Valley Talk. I'm Dave Adams with Victor Coons. Let's kind of step her here in the camera. We're actually doing two things at once here. We're doing a video feed and doing the radio. So we're kind of juggling these things around. Victor, this is Memorial Day, a very significant day, isn't it? Or not today, but we're in this season of the year where we honor veterans, the Memorial Day.
Well, you know, Dave, it's like I said, one of the things that's very important to me is that, yes, Memorial Day is coming, but we need to remember that we have men and women all around the world that are fighting for the freedoms of not only this country, but the democracies of countries around the world. And in part of that, we need to remember those men and women, not just on Memorial Day, but 365 days a year. This is the beginning, 2013, to remember through 2014, every day, what our men and women are doing. Our soldiers are coming home. They're coming home with draped coffins, ones that are very deeply buried in my heart. They're coming home with wounds. Yes, you can see them, they're visible. But more so, they're coming home broken, wounds that we don't see. And those broken wounds that we don't see is very hard to get help for them. And today we talk about the veterans that are dying here on our homeland from suicide because they've come home broken and no help available. Nobody to go to and talk to. We need to integrate them back into our society. We need to remember the sacrifice and the price they paid and what their brothers and sisters paid when they were in these wars in Afghanistan and Iraq and around the world. So it's our responsibility as a nation to take care of these young men and women for the price they paid. This is what's important, and this is why when I see the flags lined up throughout the cemeteries and the grave sites right next to our brothers and sisters, that we remember what they paid for each one of us.
One of the things, Victor, that's very shocking to me, and where I really got involved in this, is the suicide rate. There's a lot of people now in a community that I was covering news in before I came to Albany. Suicide was a big issue. There was a lot of people in the community that were upstanding, made a lot of money. All of a sudden the economy turned down, and a lot of those people were choosing suicide. One of the things that's shocking to me is that there are many months, as my understanding, that we're losing more soldiers to suicide than combat.
This is very true, and this is why we need to look at what our next step's going to be, bringing these young men and women home. They're coming home to a nation that is supposed to be a grateful nation, a nation that is going to take care of those that have served this country. And when we look at programs that I've looked at, today we call it a sequester. But the first thing they want to do is to take away from the most important programs we have, and that's the defenders of this country. We're taking money away from our military. We're taking money away from our veterans programs. We're taking money away from any program that is out there. I first and foremost believe that every person in this nation gives something. But I first and foremost believe that the men and women that ever since this country has come in existence have given a lot. We have less than 1% of this nation that's ever served in our military. And we cannot keep our acts together through our federal government and state governments to say, we're going to be there and we're going to help you. I've never met a veteran yet that was just looking for a handout. What they're looking for is a hand up. And they paid an ultimate price for that hand up. And I believe that we need to start standing up every day when we wake up, and the first thing in our first breath is say, thank you for the freedom you've given me.
Now, one of the things, that's a good point, just as members of the public, if you see somebody that is in maybe fatigues, maybe you know that they're a veteran, it's just a good idea to go up there and say, thank you for your service, thank you for serving your country. Maybe you don't personally agree with some of the combatants, some of the encounters we've been in wars and police actions overseas, but these men and women had a duty to perform. They went and performed it, and we need to be appreciative of the fact that they stood up for the cause of freedom.
Absolutely. We don't want to go to war. We don't want to go into these skirmishes. These men and women, they're here and they're training for readiness to continue to protect the boundaries we have in this nation, and that's our borders. They're here to protect the Constitution of the United States, that our forefathers drew up as a map for us to follow. And that is their belief, keeping the freedom in this country. And so they stand up and they volunteer. But these men and women can only do the work if we stand behind them. It's an old military philosophy. And many out there that are listening this morning have heard this. I've got your 6. Do you have my 6? I've got your back. Do you have my back? And that's what we're all about. I do want to tell every veteran out there, Dave, that to me is very important. We have an organization, as you know, it's called Vets Helping Vets HQ here in Albany, Oregon. And we service veterans all over the United States. We help them get their benefits. We advocate for them. We go to doctor's appointments with them. We also assist when they need assistance, whether maybe they need their electric bill paid or they need windows repaired in their home. We are there for them. And I want to take a couple of minutes and do my little thing, if you don't mind, Dave.
Go right ahead.
And that is Vets Helping Vets HQ, Albany, Oregon, 2125 Willamette Avenue, Northeast. Every veteran or veteran's family is welcome to come out. We're there to assist you. We're there to answer the phones. And you can call us at 541-971-HELP. 541-971-HELP. Or you can call 541-905-7237. And if you're into the high technology today, you can email at Victor Kuhns, Kuhns, gmail.com. Again, that's Victor Kuhns, VICTOR, KUHNS, at gmail.com. Call us, come out, visit us, have a cup of coffee, meet some of our advocates, and we have advocates from current conflicts today clear back to the Korean War, working with veterans every day. We'd like to see you.
Maybe there's a business owner that's not a veteran that just wants to help veterans, or maybe there's members of the public that are listening that want to donate. How can they do that?
Well, they can get a hold of, they can call us on one of the phone numbers. They can go to KeyBank and tell them, I would like to make a donation to Vets Helping Vets HQ, or you can mail it to Vets Helping Vets HQ. And these are important. Give us a call. We are anticipating this year that we're probably going to need donations in somewhere of $150,000 to help the veterans with the needs that are coming up. We have veterans coming home that need ramps put in their homes for wheelchairs, that need doors widened. We have a partnership with one of our businesses here in the community and in the state, and they're wonderful. That's Home Depot. They contribute a lot. Another one, which will shock a lot of people, which is a very good friend of mine and a man that stands up for every veteran out there, and that is Dawson Major, the owner of Four Spirits Distillery. He donates to us, and he really comes forth and helps our veterans. One of the things I'm going to do real quickly is I want to tell everybody that August 17th of this year, and we're going to keep talking about this, August 17th at 10 o'clock, Timberland Park, Vets Helping Vets HQ will have its 6th annual picnic. We will be honoring our fallen. We'll be having 2 guest speakers. One of them is Chris Marshall from the regional VA out of Portland, and the other one is Cameron Smith. He is the new director of Oregon Department of Veterans Affairs. Will also be there speaking. We have live music, a lot of food. If you want more information, you can get a hold of myself at 541-905-7237, or you can call Dave Adams and chat and bend his ear a little bit. He knows all about it. He'll be out at the picnic. And Dave, I don't know if I thanked you for all the support you do for veterans.
Well, thank you. It's a labor of love.
But one of the things I want to tell everybody out there, Dave's got a labor of love, but Dave, congratulations on your wedding and your new wife, and I understand that everything is going well and you're excited.
Very excited. I just got married here just late last week. Norma, if you're watching, listening, love you, and so it's nice to have a wife that supports you in when you feel called to do something like support veterans and the various things that I do. She's become a partner in that, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. It's you know how that is when you have a spouse that really supports you, and I know your wife Juanita does the same thing.
She does. She's always right there at my side. She's ready to, when needed. She was called last week. A woman veteran needed to go to the clinic in Salem. She jumped in her car, went and picked her up, took her to Salem. We have advocates out there. We're always looking for volunteers. If you want to volunteer and come out and help a veteran, whether it's transportation or working on his home, give us a call at 541-905-7237 or 541-791-HELP. And that's what we're doing. We're out there helping veterans every single day. I want to take this day to say that, remember, today is the first day of 2013, 2014, and every day is Memorial Day, as long as we have men and women serving around the world and defending the freedoms of this country. Let that be part of your heart every day when you wake up. Remember our sons and daughters, our fathers and mothers, our brothers and sisters, our aunts and uncles that are serving to give us the freedoms that we have today.
And if you're serving, if you're listening to this, watching the video either on YouTube or the website, vetshelpingvetshq.com, operationeagleswings.us, or KGAL.com will also have the video up either later today or tomorrow, so you can actually see what happened here today. If you're a veteran, we do want to thank you for your service to your country. If you just want to help veterans, you've heard a number of ways that you can do that. One of the ways that we want to mention very quickly is to buy a ticket for Honor Flight One Last Mission. Buy tickets at Bertram's Metals in Albany, Lebanon Chamber of Commerce. 800 seats we're trying to fill this Saturday at 1 p.m. at the River Center. We're going to be showing that video and raising money to send World War II veterans from the Mid-Willamette Valley back to Washington, D.C. on an honor flight. If you want to find out what the video is all about, just Google Honor Flight One Last Mission. Watch that video. You're going to be impressed. And if you come to the movie, bring some tissue, because some of these veterans have some very, very heart-rending stories to tell. We've been held live here at Linn Benton Community College with Victor Coons, and here at the Linn Benton Community College Memorial Day event. I'm Dave Adams. This is Valley Talk. We're live on the road again. And Victor, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.